All right, Econ 1B students, today I am going to give you guys a preview of how to do homework problem number 5 per your requests in today's lecture. Let's go take a look. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to be considering the market for soda where there are 4 consumers and 3 producers, and they're going to exchange money for soda. Standard market, right? Where you're trading dollars for goods and services. So here we have the market demand, which is a sum of the individual demand. So our demand schedule shows us Helix's demand, John's demand, Jenna's demand, and Milo's demand. And we want to get the market demand. And that should be pretty straightforward, right? We're looking at the relationship between price and quantity demanded for each of our consumers. The market demand is going to be the sum of the individual demands. So at $0, Helix wants 5 sodas. John wants 6, Jenna wants 6, and Milo wants 4. 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 5 gives us a total of 21 sodas in the market. At $1, Helix only wants 4, John only wants 4, Jenna wants 5, and Milo wants 3. That gives us a total of 16. And then at $2, it's 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10, plus 2 is 12. At $3, Helix wants 2 and John wants 2, Jenna wants 3 and Milo wants 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 3 is 5, 6, 7, plus 1 is 8. At $4, Milo doesn't care about soda anymore. Jenna wants 2, John wants 1, and Helix wants 1. So now we have a total of 4 sodas demanded by the market. And at a price of $5, only Jenna will buy a single soda. We can do the same thing for the market supply. We have the individual supply of 3 different soda manufacturers, Coke, Pepsi, and Dr. Pepper. And we do the same thing. We see the relationship is different as price goes up, quantity supplied goes up because it obeys the law of supply. We can see that Coke and Pepsi and Dr. Pepper all supply 0 to the market when the price is 0. But as the price goes up, the quantity supplied goes up to 3. And then at $2, it's 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 6, 7, 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 3 is 11. And then 5 plus 5 plus 4 is 14. So now we have market demand and market supply, and we're ready to graph the market and market supply and market demand and indicate the equilibrium price and quantity. We then want to go through and describe a scenario that would shift the supply curve out. So now we want to go ahead and start with that graph for the market forces of supply and demand. So hopefully you're starting to get really comfortable with this graph. We're going to keep doing it over and over. So we're going to make sure we have price on our y-axis and quantity on our x-axis. And then we want to draw in our market forces of supply and demand. So we can go ahead and say that our price is going to go from $0 to $5. So let's put that in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then our quantities are going to go from 0 to 14 and 1 to 20. So I'm going to try and get about 0 to 25 down here. So I'm going to go in 5. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, it's a little bit messier than I want it to be, but that's okay. We can always go again, and I'll show you again on the whiteboard if you guys like. So then I want to go ahead and graph in my market demand. So I'm going to see my quantity be really low when price is high. So at $5, it's just a quantity of 1. But it's going to go up as the price goes down. At $4, it's 4. At $3, my quantity demanded is 8. At $2, my quantity demanded is 12. And at $1, my quantity demanded is 16. And then at $0, my quantity demanded is 21. And I'm going to go ahead and be a super nerd and pull out my protractor so I can kind of get a generally straight line. Ooh. Not necessary for y'all, but something I like to do. So there's my demand curve. And then I want to draw my supply curve. And if we look here, we can tell, if we wanted to guess where our equilibrium price and quantity are going to be, you can look at where quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. So we see demand goes 21, 16, 12, 8, 4, 1. Supply goes 14, 18, 8, 5, 3. So I'm going to say, okay, wait, these two numbers are the same, 8 and 8. If that's the same quantity at the same price, then that's our equilibrium. So at $3, the market supply is 8 and the market demand is 8. That's going to be our equilibrium price and quantity. But I want to go ahead and see it on the graph too. It's not enough just to know it, because I know that equilibrium price occurs where quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. I also want to graph it. And so now I'm going to look at my market supply, where at a price of 0, the quantity supplied is 0. At $1, it's 3. At $2, it's 5. At $3, it's 8, which is kind of right there. We're going to just pretend that that's 8. Not to scale, unfortunately. If you've got graph paper, good for you. At $4, it's going to be 11. And at $5, it's going to be 14. So, looks something like this. So now I have my supply curve, my demand curve, and I'm going to go ahead and mark my equilibrium. I'm going to say my equilibrium price is $3, and my equilibrium quantity is 8 sodas. So I might even just write that over here. Quantity demanded equals quantity supplied at quantity of 8. I can also say that that's my, let's see, let's get a good pen for that. This is my Q star, and that's my P star. There's a lot of ways to say it. I could just say it up here, right? I could just say P star equals $3, Q star equals 8 sodas. All of those are perfectly acceptable ways to answer that part of part C. The next thing we need to do is describe a scenario that would shift the supply curve out to the right, and then say what the overall effect would be on price at a given quantity supplied. So the first thing we have to do is think about the different factors that affect quantity supplied. And what that means is we want to start thinking about those non-price determinants of supply. So I want to think about things like, what are our non-price determinants of supply? It's going to be number of sellers, price of inputs, it's going to be technology, and it's going to be expectations. And remember, we want supply to shift out to the right, so we either want to increase the number of sellers, lower the price of inputs, increase technology, or increase expectations. So I'm going to say that for me, what I think would be a great reason to shift the supply curve out would be if there was a decrease in the price of caffeine, because that's why I drink sodas. I want the caffeine. So lower price of caffeine, that's an input. Input in soda production. That means I'm going to shift my supply curve out. And I want it to be kind of an even shift like that. So I'm going to say, okay, there's my new supply curve. And then the next part says, what would be the overall effect on price at a given quantity supplied? And that's the important thing about a shift in the supply curve, is that it's going to, what we're going to see is shifting the supply curve out increases the quantity supplied at every price, or it lowers the price at every quantity supplied. And that's what you see in this graph, right? If we pick a given price, the quantity supplied is higher. If we pick a given quantity supplied, the price is now lower. So either way you look at it, the prices go down and the quantity supplied goes up. Sound good? If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you get this homework in today by midnight. Remember that homeworks are always due Friday at midnight. I'll assign a homework 3 for this week, and that'll give you a week to work on a homework on elasticities and its applications. If you have any questions, hit up the discussion board. There are a lot of answers already there. Otherwise, have a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, and I'll see y'all next time.